So most people decide to start the hair growth journey in spring. When the sun is out, summer's around the corner, and everything just kind of feels like a fresh start, and it's like last crunch time before the summer months kick in. But when it comes to your hair growth cycle, that's actually not the most ideal time to start your journey. The truth is that fall and winter are actually the best times when your hair follicles are biologically primed and ready to respond to the best hair growth treatments. The colder months, you want to think about them as a time when you can rebuild your follicles from the inside out, if you understand how to work with your body and not against it. So today I'm going to break down the science behind seasonal hair growth and how temperature, hormones, circulation, and your cellular energy all shift at this time of the year. And I'm also going to share a really powerful tool that helped me regrow my hair and help stimulate follicle growth on a cellular level. And so by the end of this video, you're going to know how to use this season to get thicker, fuller hair by spring. So when I lost 70% of my hair, and it happened so fast within the span of 5 months, I implemented everything: nutrition, stress management, supplements. All of it helped my hair recover except for this one stubborn bald patch. And that's what led me down this path of researching so much about hair growth and helping people with their own hair growth journeys. And one thing that I would notice is that people that started their hair growth journeys around the springtime, they expected to see fast results by summer. And what I realized in my research was that they were already dealing with months of UV exposure, sweat from the heat, and inflammation. And all of these things make it harder for your follicles to repair themselves. It wasn't until I started studying trichology that it finally clicked in that timing matters just as much as treatment. And I do want to preface this by saying that if you are watching this in the spring, please do not be deterred. The best time to start a hair growth journey is today, but the second best time is fall. Okay, back to what I was saying, is that your scalp has its own biological rhythm. And in fall and winter, that rhythm shifts into recovery mode. So what you want to do is build your routine around that cycle. So focusing on gentle cleansing, consistent oiling, and one treatment that makes a huge difference: red light therapy. And this just makes so much sense scientifically, because when UV exposure drops and your inflammation starts to settle, your scalp becomes more receptive to treatments that stimulate cellular energy. And that's where red light therapy comes into play. So if you've never tried red light therapy before, here's why it fits so perfectly, especially in this season. It uses specific wavelengths of red light between 650 and 680 nanometers that penetrate through your scalp to reach your hair follicle cells. During colder months, when oxidative stress and UV exposure are lower, that light can be absorbed more efficiently by an enzyme in your follicle called cytochrome C oxidase. And that enzyme is important because it activates your mitochondria. So if you think back on biology, the mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell, and it helps it to produce more ATP energy, which is like fuel for your hair follicle. And when you combine that extra energy with lower inflammation, your follicles can actually stay in the growth phase for longer and produce stronger, thicker hair. That's why fall and winter are peak seasons to start red light therapy. You're working with your body's natural repair cycle, not against it. And the device that I've been using for years is this one, is the Iristo Professional device. It's FDA cleared, non-invasive, and can be completely hands-free when you have the portable battery pack with it. You wear it for just 25 minutes every other day. And like I was saying, when I lost 70% of my hair within the span of 5 months, I implemented so many things to help regrow it, except for this one stubborn bald patch. And the two things that I changed was using this as well as hair oiling. And within 5 to 6 months, that bald patch completely filled in. So using red light therapy during the colder winter months is perfect as it aligns with your follicle's recovery window. And if you haven't picked up one of these devices, I have a discount code that I'm going to pop into the description box below so you can save on your own device. So now that we understand why this timing works so well for red light therapy, let's dive into the other reasons why fall and winter are the ideal time to focus on hair growth overall. So one thing to know about your hair follicles is that your hair doesn't just grow randomly. They follow a rhythm called the hair growth cycle, and it's made up of 3 main stages: the anagen phase, which is the active growth phase, and this lasts about 2 to 7 years; the catagen phase, which is the transition phase. This is where your hair starts to detach from the bulb; and the telogen phase, which is the resting or shedding phase. Now here's what's fascinating. Multiple dermatological studies have shown that humans experience a seasonal peak in shedding, typically around late summer to early fall. That's what I thought my hair was doing back when I first lost it, because it happened I started to notice it in August. And so I just assumed that it was the usual annual hair shed that was going on. But in my case, it was a lot more hair that was falling out. So anyways, the reason why this time in the year is associated with hair loss is because UV radiation, which we've mentioned, heat exposure, and oxidative stress from the warmer months accelerate the end of the anagen or growth phase, which pushes more hair into the telogen or shedding phase. In other words, summer stress leads to fall shedding. But right after that, in late fall to early winter, your scalp naturally starts to shift back to the growth phase or anagen phase. So if you do start hair growth treatments during this peak time, you're aligning perfectly with your scalp's natural recovery rhythm, kind of like planting seeds right before spring. So let's get a little bit deeper into why this is so effective. So summer UV rays generate ROS, which is reactive oxygen species. These are unstable molecules that damage scalp cells and proteins like keratin. So when UV exposure drops in fall and winter, as we're spending more time indoors, your scalp's antioxidant systems finally get a break. This allows your cellular repair pathways to rebalance and strengthen follicle tissues. So topicals with antioxidants, think like rosemary, green tea, niacinamide, these work better in this calmer environment. Another thing is that heat, dehydration, and disrupted sleep patterns in summer can spike your cortisol, which indirectly increases DHT activity. And DHT is a major contributor to androgenic hair loss. In fall and winter, our cortisol levels tend to normalize and our melatonin levels rise slightly due to longer nights. And melatonin has been shown in studies to extend the anagen phase. So these colder, darker months are literally helping your hormone balance shift to regrowth. Another thing is that colder weather months tends to cause mild vasoconstriction on the surface of your skin. But when you use tools like scalp massage, dermastamping, red light therapy, you trigger the opposite effect, vasodilation. That means increased nutrient delivery to your follicles, which helps them recover from the telogen phase faster. So combining things like light therapy, massage, oiling, these all help to improve scalp blood flow. And finally, behaviorally, we tend to be a little bit more consistent during the colder weather months. We're not traveling near as much as we do in the summers. We're not spending that much time out. We tend to be home more. We tend to be more structured, have earlier nights. And that's when your routines can start to really stick and build. And the thing to keep in mind is that hair growth isn't about a quick fix. It's about consistency and momentum. And your follicles are going to respond to these patterns. Okay, so let's get into how to structure your 6-month plan so you can start to see regrowth by spring. Step 1 is to rebuild your scalp barrier. You want to start with a gentle pH balanced shampoo. Avoid sulfates like sodium lauryl sulfate, which can strip your scalp and increase inflammation. Instead, look for cleansers with mild surfactants and soothing botanicals like chamomile, green tea, aloe vera. Healthy follicles need a calm environment, and inflammation can disrupt growth. Step 2 is weekly scalp exfoliation. Use an exfoliant every 1 to 2 weeks. You can opt for a mechanical one or a chemical one that contains something like salicylic acid. This will help remove buildup from oils, silicones, waxes in your products, as well as dead skin, pollutants, anything that blocks your follicles. And studies show that consistent exfoliation improves your scalp barrier and oxygenation, which helps your scalp treatments to penetrate better, thus being more effective. Step 3 is to stimulate your scalp with things like red light therapy and daily scalp massages. And massage has actually been shown in clinical studies to be effective, especially after 24 weeks of consistency. Both of these things are going to improve microcirculation and cellular metabolism, which is important for energy and delivering nutrients to your follicles. Step 4 is to focus on nourishing from within. I know in the winter months we tend to not watch our waistline a little bit and indulge a little bit, but just focus on getting in your protein intake for the day, as well as getting your iron, your zinc, your vitamin D, your B12. These are all super important for hair growth, especially vitamin D because we're not spending as much time outside. And fall and winter is the perfect time to consume those really nice, warm, nutrient-dense foods like bone broth, soup, dal, all of these really nice, rich, nutrient-dense, comforting foods. Step 5 is to seal and protect. You'll want to use oils that are rich in fatty acids and antioxidants, like rosemary, bringraj, amla, pumpkin seed oil. These are all fantastic. You want to apply before shampooing, like the night before, and they will help to protect against protein loss. And finally, step 6 is to document your progress. You want to take photos like every month. Make sure that you're taking the same angles and the same lighting, parting your hair in the exact same way. And photos are really going to show if what you're doing is effective or not. But remember that the hair growth cycle takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months, sometimes up to 12 to take effect. So there you have it. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to start your hair growth journey, this is it right now. And this is your action plan. Number 1, start now. Your follicles are ready for it. Like I said, if you're watching this in the spring, the second best time to start is right now. Number 2 is to pick your core treatments like oiling, red light therapy, supplements. Number 3 is to stay consistent. 4th, track your progress through pictures, and by spring your hair will be visibly thicker, fuller, and stronger. And if this video helps shed any light on why this is the perfect time to start a hair growth treatment, hit the like button. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I post weekly, and let me know in the comment section below what your biggest goal for your hair is this season. Are you looking to make it thicker? Are you just wanting less shedding? Are you wanting to start to see regrowth? I'd love to help you get there. And thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I'll see you guys soon with another video. Take care.